Hello, everyone. Welcome to this beautiful conversation that I'm going to have with Claire. So we'll just wait for Claire to pop on. So this beautiful soul is from Galway, but she has ventured over to Ibiza. So if you guys want to know how to get yourself to Ibiza, listen up, because this girl, she's got it. And she also speaks light language. Who knows what light language is? Hands up if you know what light language is. And yeah, she's an amazing woman. I've actually never met her in person, only online in the past year, but we're always in contact. How is everyone doing? Is everyone enjoying the nice weather? Nice and sunny. Hey! Oh, that's 𝐁𝐫í-𝐖𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐛𝐞𝐢𝐧𝐠. Okay, let's see where our beautiful Claire is. Oh, it's cloudy. It's nice and sunny in Kildare. Hi, Sharon. So we're all in for a real treat tonight. I've received a lot of light language healing from Claire, and it is just amazing. It's really cool. And she also sings with it as well, which is really nice. Her voice is like an angel. So if anyone has any questions, definitely just pop them in the box. Oh, we have a WhatsApp message. Sorry, guys. Hello.
Hello.
A conversation with myself there, Claire, about me.
Great. Look, we can't talk to ourselves and it's not okay, then when can we?
Welcome, Claire. Welcome, all listeners. As I was saying, we're all in for a real treat tonight with this beautiful soul from Galway who has ended up in Ibiza by following her passion, by following her inner voice, which I just think is so inspiring. And of course, she is a light language channeler, which a lot of people are unfamiliar with, Claire. So yeah, we're really excited to have you here. And yeah, let's just hear everything. Let's hear all your knowledge. Look, you're smiling. You're like, I'm ready to just the light. So tell us a bit about yourself, Claire. Where are you? What are you doing?
Well, at the moment I'm in Ibiza. So I've been here since October last year, yeah. I came here to go on a retreat. It was a wild feminine awakening retreat for a week with a woman called Sarah Jane Perman. And yeah, things had kind of happened in my life before then that was going through this like huge expansion. We could call it awakening, or a bit of like, an accelerated kind of opening process to the light. And yeah, it kind of led me on this journey that I was like, I was unsure about where I was in Ireland. Like I didn't really know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to be or what was the right place for me. I knew I wanted to live by the sea. That was like one massive thing. So it kind of like spearheaded me, and it was a bit of a like series of different events that happened that I decided to come to Ibiza. And I was like, right, I'm going to come on this retreat, and perhaps I'm going to be here for like 2 weeks, but maybe I'll be here for 2 months, and who knows, like if this is where I'm meant to be, I will know, and I'm just going to trust in this process and allow myself to like fully be held and embraced by the universe. So yeah, and now I'm here 5 months later, and
yeah, I was gonna say, I remember we were in contact when you said you were going, was that maybe December before Christmas?
I'm here since like the 20th of October.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you getting up to?
Yeah, so it's just been this like gorgeous experience. Like they kind of say about Ibiza, they were like, it'll either like welcome you with open arms or it spits you out. Apparently, it's like the like it's one or the other. So fortunately, like it's just opened me with such open arms, and everyone here is, it's like this birthing place or like cauldron of like well-being workers and coaches and conscious community, and just so many light workers here and like light language speakers as well. So for me, like at the start, like I had just opened up to light language, and I was really like, I don't really know what's happening. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, I can understand when other people see it and they're like going, what's happening? And then, but when it's happening to you, it's quite a different experience because you have to like try and integrate it and embody it and ground it within yourself. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you do it, but it's a real gift.
But yeah, it's been this community here, honestly. Like I feel like in, you know, where I was at home, it was quite uncommon, and that's just, you know, that's the nature of this. It's not common to be surrounded by light language speakers, but here there's such a community of light workers or light language speakers specifically. So it's been a really expansive place for me to like connect on this, like, you know, this 3D level, but also on a multi-dimensional level with people, and actually have them understand what I'm talking about and resonate where you're coming from, and also be able to like guide you and help you and support you in this process of, you know, sometimes you just need to be told you're not going mad, or that like it's okay, it's just an energy shift, or your vibration is kind of, you know, going through a little bit of an upgrade or whatever that is, and to have someone to be able to just really resonate with you and understand where you're coming from, and be able to also offer maybe some advice and support in that space. Like that's what this community here in Ibiza, I feel like, is giving me and nourishing me at the moment as well. And it's been interesting because it's such a different island, I'm sure, to what other people have experienced.
This is like just what I went to Ibiza, and I'm just like, I can't put two and two together here.
I know, I was here like 6 years ago, and like, let's be fair, it was like a journey of not remembering. This is like the journey of remembrance.
And that's so amazing, Claire, that how you went to Ibiza not with the intention of kind of staying there to pursue light language. You went for the feminine retreat, but then ended up with like a soul family of light language speakers. So I just feel like when you really tune in and follow your passion, follow your guidance, it's going to lead you where you need to go.
Oh my God, hugely. Like this. And I know we hear the word trust so often, and people are like, yeah, you know, you need to trust, to just embrace what the universe has given you. But like really, when we anchor into ourselves and we feel that feeling of like uneasiness, or we're not where we're meant to be, we're not in alignment, then when you take that step to go somewhere and then you can kind of feel that alignment again, it's like, oh, this is what really trusting is. And this is what like following your path is. And this is what like actually living in your purpose actually does feel like, because it's such a different level of grounding and anchoring into you. And it's more of this, even like, as much as we can say like the universe is something that we need to trust in, we also need to be very aware that like we are beings who have our own free will, and there's always, a different avenue or a different choice. Perhaps it mightn't be the easiest choice to make. It might be a bit challenging. There might be a bit that needs to be worked around. But if we really go inward and anchor into it, what is like our grounded purpose, then the rest will actually follow. Like the rest will actually just unfold how it's meant to unfold.
And Claire, do you mind me asking, did you face any fears before you went to Ibiza, given what the global state is, and how did you overcome those fears?
Yeah, there was all the fears. We're living in an actual constant state of fear now, like attached to our just genuine inner fears, and then there's this like societal fear that we're living in at the moment. So yeah, and if I'm being honest, like I had activated to light language, and I was actually in a state of like, I don't honestly know what the fuck is going on. And I was in my own additional place of fear. I couldn't really concentrate on work. I couldn't really focus on a lot of things. I was just kind of in this space of like, in my own inner fear. And then to, societal norms and judgments and everyone's opinion, and, nearly like, you're talking to family and friends and different people who you are making a decision that's against the norm because you've decided that you're going to like go to a different country when there's all of these travel bans and different restrictions. So you're dealing with a lot of different opinions, a lot of different personalities, that, need to kind of be navigated by. So yeah, there was all of that. And then you're trying to explain to people that, yeah, I'm just trusting and following what the universe is going to give to me, and that's your explanation. But when you really have to like anchor into that, then that's that make or break point of like, am I trusting in the universe or not? So yeah, there was loads of fears to navigate through, like loads, and how I overcame them was I kept coming back to that space of centeredness and knowing that I wasn't feeling in alignment where I had just this really uneasy feeling. So I knew that something needed to change and I needed to make a decision. So I trusted, but I detached from the outcome. That was like the main thing for me. I think we can over-identify and attach with what we want the end result to be. So I just consciously kept reminding myself that like, this is just a journey of trust. I'm going with what I feel intuitively I should do, and I'm not attached to how this is the end result. So that was kind of what kept bringing me back to that place.
And look at where it's led you to. Super. So Claire, you are a meditation teacher, a wellness coach, a guide, a life coach, of course, light language speaker. Can you give us some tips and advice on how to start meditating? Because I do get a lot of questions on Instagram about people feeling stressed and wanting to start meditating. My only advice is, you just have to start. And they're like, that's great advice. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's all I can give. You just need to try and keep trying. Can you please shine your wisdom over us?
Yeah, and there is a bit of that in it as well, Niamh. You're not incorrect in like, you do need to just keep the practice, and in the end, and it's like anything, we've all probably heard this so many times, it's a meditation practice. It's something that we sit and we come back to again and again. Like it's this process of always returning, and it kind of is that similar thread again. Like I know when I started to meditate, like my mind is like, someone who has navigated my way through anxiety and different mental illnesses through my journey of this lifetime. And like, I have a really, really busy mind. Like when people say they have a busy mind, I'm like, I hear you on so many levels. So when I first started to meditate, it was, like I used to think like someone turned up the thought, radio transition inside, because I would just hear so much even more thoughts when I closed my eyes. So I just couldn't even understand the concept of what the hell is this meditation thing. Like, I'm hearing more thoughts when I close my eyes, you know. So it's this process of, we put the expectation on meditation, I think, that we want to have no thoughts, or that we're like, we want like a fully silent mind, and we're never going for that goal. We're just trying to quieten the mind. We're trying to like decrease the thoughts from, say, if we're at a 10, we'd love the thoughts to go down to maybe a like mild, maybe 5 or 6. You know, it's never a silent mind, and it can never be a silent mind in the sense of like, we need our conscious mind, we need thoughts as well. So it's to remove that expectation of, you know, this completely silence, and then just to sit with the fact that the intention is to meditate. Like, that's the part that you really align to. It's this intention piece that I've sat down with the intention to quieten my mind and focus on that to begin with, not on, you know, the grading or the like level of meditation that we think we're going to. You know, we're trying to, as a recovering perfectionist myself, like, I know I want to like get to like the best meditation, and that competitive streak in me comes up, but it's like, okay, I'm just going to bring myself back to the fact that I've taken 10 minutes out of my day. I've sat on a cushion, or I've sat on a chair, you know, in the office or wherever that is, and I've sat with the intention to meditate. And that's the bit that you focus with. And to, you know, if you're starting off meditating, like 5 minutes, like on a regular basis, is so much more nurturing and supportive than, you know, these block piles of like, I might do like a workshop for like 3 or 4 hours, like one day, and then that's all I do then after that. Like, even bringing yourself back to like a 5-minute recorded meditation on YouTube or wherever, somewhere that's really accessible. And like, you know, even if it's in those spaces where you do it in the workplace, or you do it somewhere where, you know that it's maybe a bit more stress in your day, like that can be the harder time to meditate. But if you can bring it in those places for just even a couple of minutes, and just give yourself compassion and love and kindness for the fact that you've set to meditate, then the rest will like unfold as it's meant to then.
Yeah, that's really, really helpful. Like, especially just take 5 minutes. Like, it doesn't have to be half an hour.
Oh God, no.
5 minutes. And what I find is super helpful, just take a really big deep breath in and a big exhale. And it's all about this grounding. But when you understand that term, it's like, oh yeah, I'm on the ground, not in my thoughts, not in my mind. I'm embodied in this body. So yeah, no, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Claire. And if anyone's looking for a little YouTube meditation, Claire has her own YouTube channels with some of her beautiful meditations on there, and they're only like 10-15 minute long, and I actually always listen to them. And just to let you know, Claire, that you can't actually comment on your videos. I was meant to text you that. I don't know why you can't comment on them.
Right, okay, I don't know either.
I'm always like trying to comment on them, and I just can't. So yeah, they're amazing, guys. So Claire, you've been speaking all about this light language healing, and I've been posting all about it. Everyone's probably like sitting there, what is that? Tell us about your medicine.
I love to tell you about my medicine, and the medicine I feel like we all have. But I did want to just come back to one point that you said about grounding as well, because I feel like this grounding piece, like, I think it's kind of one of these words that's bandied about a bit, and it's like grounding, and people don't really fully understand it. You know, it's like, what does someone mean about grounding? Because it's so important for us. And it's not simply about like, you know, the touching of the ground and feet. Like, grounding is coming back into your body. Like, this really, and like, this is this piece of like, that I was talking about, like returning. And this piece of like, you know, even when we talk about meditation, like, we're bringing ourselves from the mind into our body, not just into the earth, you know, that space of where we're touching. And that it's that process. If we can bring ourselves into the body and into that space inside ourselves, like, that's so earthing itself. And that's really grounding and embodying ourselves into the space. And there's like a practice that I guide people through as well about this grounding the light. Like, even when you hear that, it's like, even if you take a deep breath in and visualize that light is entering your body and like flowing through your entire body, and on the out breath that you ground it then through your body and into the earth. And even doing like 3 of those breaths, like that is bringing yourself back to a really mindful space, grounding into your body. And it's a form of meditation as well. So if someone was actually at the really start of their journey, this is a really great practice to just bring you back, anchor you, and just allow you to kind of have that moment of peace, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, yeah. And just to add to that, for everyone who is listening or who will listen after, of course, Claire teaches all of this, and we're not just talking about this. Claire is an NLP teacher, and meditation teacher. You know, she's a Reiki practitioner. This girl, she's got it all. So if you're, especially at the start of your kind of, let's say, spiritual journey, starting to discover yourself, Claire can be, you know, an amazing guide for you. And if I'm correct in saying, Claire, that you used to work in kind of corporate wellness, is that right? Teaching, guiding, supporting, assisting?
Yes, I used to work in the tech industry as an office manager. I had an amazing job. It was such a gorgeous like community of people that I worked with as well. And then I also managed our global workplace wellbeing program. So that's something that I've also trained in as well. I did a postgrad in workplace wellness last year, actually. And yeah, very much managed that from like a global scale, and then more so in the Dublin office where I worked. So that was beautiful in the sense of bringing this, you know, these meditation practices or these well-being practices, or there's so much in that space as well. Like I think we focus on meditation and yoga and things like that as like this like band-aid or kind of a fix in these situations where people are like highly stressed, and like, you know, especially a little bit more so now with like what we talked about, the fear that's going on in society, and then just a lot of this unknown spaces. So when you look at like the working environment, like you hope that that's the place that you're most stressed in your life, you know, because it is a higher productivity space that you are in. And a lot to do with the workplace wellness really comes down to more practical stuff. You know, it's not about these like, you know, different kind of like mindfulness practices, which are amazing, but sometimes in the workplace it can be really brought back down to like very much basics. Like, you know, are we given space in our day? Like, what are our meeting structures? Like, are there spaces in between your meetings? Like, is there places where you're not being asked to work overtime? You know, is it that, you know, people are actually connecting in the workplace and actually having like feeling well, being supported through social connections and, you know, good communication across the board within the space as well. So it can be really brought back to this really practical, you know, everyday way, that can really support employees as well.
Yeah, great. So if there's any business owners out there who need a bit of wellness in their business, Claire also is a woman. Light language, tell us.
Yes. So yeah, light language, what the hell is it, you know? And it's like this space of when we hear it, it's like something happens within our system when we hear light language. We're not sure why we're drawn to it. We're not sure what is enticing it to us, but something about it actually like intrinsically like calms our nervous system and actually like regulates us and anchors us. And what's actually like happening in that space, like we call it light language, but like it actually works through sound, tone, and vibration. And that's what is being like actually received and given in that space. Like it's bringing us back to our original essence and to our soul voice and to our truest nature, which is like our soul expression, and how we would have communicated before language. Like before there was language, like we connected in an energetic space. We connected through sound, tone, and vibration. And that was this, you know, exchange that we had. So when we think about light language, then we're actually bringing ourselves back again, like I've been talking about, to that space of remembrance within us. And then it's like actually working as a healing modality then, because it works through vibrational healing. So it's like each cell in our body actually has a different vibration. So say your heart space and your lungs are going to have a different like sonic sound. So when the light language is coming through, then it's actually like raising the vibration and raising the frequency within that cell. And it's like, you know, even the Einstein saying like everything is vibration, like everything that lives, everything that moves has a vibration. I'm sure you know all about this, Niamh, through your, you know, beautiful biofield healing modality as well. And it's the same principle with the light language. Like that's what it's actually like, lifting your frequency, raising your vibration on this deep cellular level. And that's where like the healing comes from. And it's also bypassing the mind, which is, you know, the one of the most endearing qualities about it, because we're in this space of, you know, the logical left brain, you know, gives us so much, gives us like all of the productivity and everything that we do in this conscious mind space. But the light language actually bypasses that left logical mind and just really connects with our right, intuitive, soulful essence, creative self. And then that's the bit that's being communicated to. Like I even explained to people, I'm like, you're just kind of getting a mind holiday. Like just check out, head on the little vacay and allow that right brain to really flow and receive and then integrate and embody, like we've actually been chatting about, this healing and sound, tone and vibration through the body, through your cells, and on this deeper level. So in that space, that's really, you know, I suppose everything is interpretation when it comes to light language as well. Like, let's be fair. So, you know, this is my understanding and my interpretation that I give to people on it.
Brilliant, brilliant. If I was to explain light language, I would explain it as no, I'm not a light language speaker. This is just observing other people. A voice comes into their head and then they just speak that voice. Does the voice come into your head? Do you hear the voice and then you relay the words, or you just say something and it comes out?
I love this. This is a great question.
It flows.
And this is such a good question, because this was before I was activated or began to speak the language. I was like, what is happening in the mind? I just don't get it. And it's this space of like, it's nearly like a bit of a like blind trust again, to come back to that, because, you know, I call it into the space, and basically I will just know that there is a sound about to come out, and I just flow really presently with that. Like I'm in no ways, you know, I can control my embodiment of it and the amount that I can anchor that into my body. So, you know, it can maybe go at a bit of a faster pace or a slower pace. And that is something that you can kind of bring that essence and intention to it. But as to what actually is coming out, yeah, no, it's a beautiful flow from a multidimensional space. And it's the, like, you know, physical, like, you know, tangible manifestation of soul and spirit, and that in this realm, which is just so beautiful.
It is so powerful. I don't want to get too esoteric about this now, because we might, you know, drop a few people. But essentially, it's like divine light just flowing through you, which we already are embodied in this physical structure. So you're just relaying yourself and me and everyone else.
Yeah, completely. It's this, even if you just want to say it's your intuitive self really flowing, or your higher self flowing, or whatever that is, but it's light flowing through the physical body. And this is this further embodiment of the light. And it's, you know, there's no mistaking that feeling of lightness that is given and received by someone who is actually experiencing light language. And I think it's a frequency that we can't really explain, but we have to just kind of sit back and trust to a certain extent.
Yeah, and for those who are listening, I have received light language from Claire and another girl, Colette, who you introduced me to. and their healing modality of light language is completely different. Like Claire's is, or Colette's is very, very kind of high pitch. Just it's totally different to yours. So light language is not just one message coming through. It's like it can be so vast. And Claire, would you please offer us a little healing?
Oh my God, I would love to. I would love to. And yeah, just to like echo what you were saying there, and it's so gorgeous that you received from Colette. Oh, she's such a beautiful soul as well. Yeah, like when I say that light flows through you and it's coming through like our physical selves, it's also a further expression of our divine selves and of our personality selves and who we intrinsically are. Like no one's light language will ever be the same. They may come from similar origins or somewhere like a similar star light or star seed or something, but it's the beautiful essence that is you, that's our divine self, that's our individual self, is what's actually like flowing through. So you could even think of it like it's like a different dialect, or a different tonality that's coming through the personality self. So like that's what's so beautiful of it. It's the integration and alchemy of soul and spirit and or divine selves as well. It's this really beautiful soulful expression of both of this divine union within us. So that's what's and it's gorgeous to hear that it was so different, because that's even more special to know that you're receiving in so many different levels when you receive from one person and another person.
Oh yeah, but like you're saying it as if it's just this light that flows through. There's actually so much healing, like it's actually so deep. So when Claire offers this little session, I'm actually going to keep my eyes open. Now, usually I would close them and immerse myself into the experience, but I just feel like if I close my eyes, I may not open them. And yeah, that might just be a bit embarrassing. So yeah, if you've not received this healing before, or if you're not really kind of like deep in meditation and kind of spirituality and healings, it can be quite different and unique, and that's why it's just so gorgeous. My advice would be to just close down your eyes, and nobody's looking at you, and even if there's people in your room, it doesn't matter. Just really feel. So don't think, as best you can, just feel, and feel the vibrations of the voice and feel the vibrations of the words just ripple through you. But of course, the gorgeous Claire here is going to explain that a bit more. That's my advice.
Yeah, and it's so gorgeous to hear that, and exactly what Niamh was saying. I would just say approach this with an open mind and an open heart. All is received really through the heart space anyway. That is our soul portal. So if this is your first time receiving, I would close your eyes and just allow yourself to really relax and release and receive whatever it is in this space. As I said, it's this process of bypassing the mind, which in itself is so deeply healing. So it's allow yourself to receive in that deeper level, and I'll guide us beautifully through a really gentle, loving receiving. And I feel like what's coming through to me is to bring something really calming for the mind and something really soothing. So I think that'll be the intention that I'll call through into the space as well. Okay. Beautiful. So I'll call myself into the space, but I'll invite you to close your eyes whenever you are ready. I call out to you now. And I ask for the highest possible divine light to flow through me now. Really guiding yourself gently and lovingly into the space, allowing yourself to drop and drift fully into these few moments. Taking a deep breath in, and really allowing yourself to fully release and let go and drift into these few moments. Taking another deep breath in and really allowing yourself to let go and soften and release on the exhale. Taking another deep breath in and allowing yourself to drift and fully drop into this space as you exhale. Shifting the awareness from the mind and into that inner space inside you. Allowing yourself to drift deeper and deeper. Allowing this wave of relaxation to flow from the mind all the way down into that inner space inside you. Softening, releasing, and letting go as you drift and flow deeper and deeper, releasing and feeling this wave of relaxation flowing through your being. As you allow this wave of light to flow through you, calming, releasing and relaxing all parts of the self, all parts of the soul, as you receive these codes of pure light. Kola malayala so kola lele maraya kol talala miyoko. No lo kol tolo malaya ki tananana yala ko. Sol alala mayo kol te arese komalai. Tol kolamai italalale la wol sokamalaya I. Tol la malalele ko. Sol kolomalele aki salamolele mo. Tanamalele mako. Si akawalea o. Sono kalea mikiti anako. Ko alea mokote nenya. Sia kamula ya kita neya wo. Wo takame ya la sokotonomia tia la sekawa. Shifanala kotonomaria kisela kweta nororo koma. Shima kaya talokoro soko malayakti tarakwamai. Sala kala yamoro rorala miatira soko malalati. Shoko la lia mokoto soroko maleata tasua. Si akokolo moyata. No lo komalayato roroso komalayati sinaka. Vuolto la mia rakokotoro samani. Sia nala kura mula la leliana mura yasara kwatanea. Sia la koma la leliana sita na mura ketananya. Kusa malale kita na noronko sokomali yatisa kokoko. Ko ala yako koto noro esaramaki. Tale ala la loro korko maniena na wo. Sia la muko tenia ma ua. Sia morokuna maya atonua. Sia la kona maya to la malalelo. Uota la lalia soroko maya titia so. Toto nana nanyala soko maya tia koto sowa. Sia tanonolo la mea tia no. Ko la male atolo kolo la lelesi. Sia koma la yako waro kokomoto tototono. O asia nala waya tanana. O asia wala tanonoya ma. O asia tolo komaisi kitanua tetati. Sea kala watia so. Ko atea saramuro kotananai. Ko atea sokowa. Ko atea roko sokanananana. Sia kalamorati te moria. Sia talalalo komayata. Nola kamayata. Kula maya lia katonono. No alea sako. No alea sako etamai. Tania wa. Walia sako mayati. So aniaro. Receiving this balm of calm that flows over, through, and into your being. Receiving this wave of pure love that flows through you from the cosmos into your being, into your soul, into your light body. Receiving this calm wave flowing through each cell, each fiber of your being, flowing, soothing, embracing, releasing. As we send this wave of calm and ease through your body, breathing it in and allowing yourself to bathe in this ease, sending this wave of pure calm through your being, breathing into the body and sending this ease and calm through the entire body on the exhale. Breathing back into the physical body and sending this wave of ease through you on the exhale. Breathing fully back into this space and grounding yourself to the earth on the exhale. Inviting you to open your eyes whenever you are ready. And gently bringing yourself back into this space.
Wow, Claire, thank you so much. That was my first time like looking at you doing it.
Oh, wow.
And you were like an old grandmother in South America, like telling her little girls not to be doing something, and you were going and you were going. And I was just like, oh my God, I think I'm in South America, in this like woman with her old apron around her.
Oh my
South America, your passport. There, that was absolutely stunning. Thank you so much. I'm actually really looking forward to listening to the recording and just being able to, immerse myself into the experience. Claire, tell us, how can we find out more about this heart-opening, gentle, soft healing, get rid of the blockages? How can we find out more?
Yes, well, most of where I am on at the moment is in the online space, which is amazing that we can still give this healing to people and people can still receive it. So I do quite a lot of different workshops online. I'm actually have a 6-week light activation course that I am starting on the 3rd of May. And I am doing a free online Awakening the Light workshop on Sunday. So that's at 11 o'clock GMT Irish time. And that will be an hour-long workshop where I'll be giving a really, I think, perhaps a deeper, but it'll be a longer light language activation transmission, which will be really beautiful. And then we'll bring ourselves back into the space of talking about everyday light embodiment. Like we've been talking about really practical ways that you can bring light into the everyday and kind of like elevate your vibration within the, like, you know, space of our everyday lives. And we'll also examine a bit about energy protection as well, which is so important, you know, just to kind of manage our energy levels at the moment. I think we need to be really conscious of the fact that we've been so insular recently, you know, with all of these restrictions, and we're just not used to being around so many people. And then that in itself is like an additional energy exchange that we're kind of emerging for at the moment as well. So we'll be talking about different ways that you can manage that and actually, like, you know, navigate your way through that if you're a bit more sensitive, or if you're finding things a little bit more challenging. And so, yeah, that's on Sunday. The link is in my bio for that as well, actually. And yeah, I do light language healing sessions online and like coaching sessions with people as well. Yeah.
Coaching, yeah, you do everything, Claire. Guys, that is a perfect opportunity next Sunday. So you can do an hour long. Is that over Zoom, Claire?
It's over Zoom, yeah. So
Yeah,
there's a,
brilliant.
yeah, the link is in my bio.
Sign up for that. Does it start at 10 a.m. Irish time?
No, so it's actually 11 a.m. Irish time, and then it's 12 o'clock where I am in Ibiza.
Okay. Guys,
So,
sign up. You've nothing to lose, and then you can, you know, hear all about light language and protecting yourself and all the other healing modalities. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Claire. Is there anything else you'd like to add in? Does anyone have any questions before we wrap it all up? Eva,
yeah.
you're very welcome. I know it's such a beautiful, beautiful modality. Anything else, Claire, you'd like to add?
Yeah, it's just so beautiful to be in this space with you, Neve, and to actually be able to bring light language to everyone, to people, you know, like even if people don't have an understanding of it, like I think that's even the more beauty in this space, you know. Part of like my purpose here, and I feel like my, you know, mission and drive is to connect people, you know, to the light worker that we all are. You know, this is not just accessible to me, it's through everyone. We're all light beings, we're all light workers. And you know, this is this space of bringing us all back and, you know, empowering us to know that we are all, you know, the expression of light in this lifetime, and we all have access to this. This is not something that is, you know, just chosen for certain people. Like we all have our own unique light expressions, whether that is creativity or whether that is, you know, that's something, someone might be an artist, or it's through song, or it's through poetry, or it's through dance. Like that in itself is light expression. That is flow. That is living, you know, from that intuitive space. So I would really, you know, even if it's something that you've connected today and something has been activated within you, like follow that, like, you know, follow the intuition, follow the guidance, like, you know, whatever that is, explore it further, because like the depths of you that can be reached and the light expression that can be given and received is just, it's limitless. And it's in our everyday. That's where the magic is. It's not, you know, in the cosmos, and it's in the universal space. Yeah, you know, that's it. It's in the everyday. It's accessible to everyone, and that's, you know, I feel like that is my message. Like, you know, that we are all light workers, every single one of us, and it's, you know, just this guidance back to ourselves, back to that inner space inside us.
Guys, if you have a passion for something, or if you don't know what your purpose is or what your passion is, or if you're not really sure what lights you up, you know, you're kind of just getting up in the morning, doing your job, and you know, you feel pretty happy. But if you know that there's something else out there, something else is kind of itching, Claire also will help you find that. You know, you can work together. She's obviously a life coach, a guide, and she will really, really help you. Honestly, you're amazing, Claire. You've helped me so much on my journey. And I just saw the lovely Katie Harrison pop on there, and she is our mutual link.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, as I said just before we started, I've actually never met Claire in person, but we're on the phone to each other so often, voice notes, messages, everything. Yeah, and I'm always like, I'm coming to Ibiza, and then I'm like, no, I'm not coming to Ibiza.
I'm like, come. I can't believe we haven't met in person yet. I actually genuinely have not realized that.
And it was so
That's,
funny. Myself and Katie said that the other day as well. She said, I can't believe I forgot we haven't met in person. Oh, hi, Katie. That's our yoga. That's our yoga guru. We're going to have to get you on the show next.
yes. Oh my God, love it. Hey, lovely. I love it. It just goes to show you the power that can be actually like the connectivity level through Zoom and through all of these online spaces, like that I genuinely haven't realized that I haven't met you in person yet.
But it's also through the ether telepathy, but we won't get into that now either.
I feel like you keep dipping in and then you're like, nope, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, embodied spirituality. Claire, thank you so, so, so much. And I 100% will be there on Sunday morning. And I definitely will be going back over today's healing so I can really enjoy it. Guys, find Claire on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Neve, for inviting me on here and just opening this space and allowing all of us to receive and me to give. And yeah, I'm just really grateful and honored to have you in my life and on this path and as part of this journey as well. So much gratitude, my sister. Thank you.
Thank you. And guys, if you want to come to a retreat in Ibiza, come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, maybe one with biofield tuning as well. And maybe Katie. Let's get us all involved.
Take care. Good night. God bless. Bye.
So much love, sister. Thank you.
Thank you.